We'll see the Steelers' versatile running back. He's coming off a nice showing last week, racked up a lot of yards, and reached the end zone once. It's the Steelers and the Bengals, and it kicks off next on Madden NFL 23.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as we welcome you into Paycor Stadium on the riverfront here in Cincinnati. Today we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Great, I'm kicking.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This fielded right at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
And when you come into the league as the #1 guy selected, a lot of hype comes with it. Sometimes that weight can be unbearable. But this young man, he took that weight on and handled it as well as you can imagine. And
right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point up and through, and it's now a 7-0 game. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this taken in at the line. Back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
You definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do. But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
A first carry here for Joe Mixon. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The numbers for Mixon last week, pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. But
into a sea of defenders have intercepted. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Point after here coming up. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception. navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Bengals offense returns to the field. And job one here, Charles. Just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm, and now they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. He'll bite, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. DeMarvin Leal fighting through to bring him down that time. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It's fielded at the 45. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, ruling on the field.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. No problem there on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. And oh, deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Burrow. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Burrow. That escapes the sack. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety.
At this point, I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked on a passing down. The amount of times he's hit the deck today, I think a lot of us are reading safety before they even took the snap. Simply a merciless pass rush every step of the game, and that rush earns a crowning achievement there.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure joy after that one.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
First down, Steelers.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down.
Number 3.
The numbers for him from a week ago. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. And they'll run on the inside handoff. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there at a first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. 63 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from going up by 30. The extra point up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports.
On one, ready?
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Puts it on the carpet, it's out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers continue to pull away here in this first half. The extra point up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. They had the short field and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is, he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they?
It's the pickup of 3. Brings up
Second and 7. Burrow. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That one taken in by T. Higgins. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And taken right on the 30. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st down, they'll go with the ground attack. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Story. 20. Oh, nice move. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice gain.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the route is on here in this first half.
Makes the score Steelers 44, Bengals nothing.
It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. Soul searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots.
Let me get a pick.
The old adage, when you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They're passing here. Joe Burrow dumps it off to Mixon.
You're in the hole there.
With 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards.
More like a brick wall on that one.
Now it's Burrow.
Alright. Where's he going, bro? Where are we going with this? Go to Higgins? Don't think so.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Good in the punt again. Let's bring him.
Taking it about the 36. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. On 1st down, Story. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. Second quarter action, 56 remaining. On 1st and 10, Story. And they're
I mean, it worked. It was a quick pass on accident.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man
Did not mean to do that.
and made the play call a success.
Looking to throw on second down. Story.
Get out of the way, Smith.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. Off the play fake. Story rolling to his right. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No. I believe they buzzed
They
down.
better both review that.
This play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the...
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Yeah, he's out. He's out. He's clearly out of bounds. Okay, yeah. I couldn't tell if that was out of bounds or not.
Second and goal, and they will
Darn
try
it.
again from the 2-yard line. They'll try to run this one in, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Steelers extend their lead yet again. Extra point safely through.
Wow, Lamb's getting killed by Detroit. 27 to nothing.
5 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run.
Makes no sense.
Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away.
Actually, no, it makes a lot of sense.
Fielded at the 5.
Sucks. It's your ass
To
down.
get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Bengals going to take over.
Baltimore beat Arizona 31-24.
On here in this situation, if you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to
They're in Green Bay, have not played yet.
But you got
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery from Steelers score. Well, Charles, things just seem to be getting worse and worse for one sideline. Or flip it over after that fumble return for a touchdown. Better and better on the opposite end. What an impressive first.
2-2 Tampa versus 2-2 Indianapolis. 3-1 Minnesota versus 1-3 Carolina.
Pretty secure. And if we continue to see plays like
Raiders are 2-2. Los Angeles Chargers are 1-3. San Francisco 4. Jacksonville is 1-3-1. No, he's gonna have an undefeated season. As long as that's gonna last. Dallas is beating Kansas City 10-0. Wow.
Fielded right around the 8.
Mahomes is 4 for 10, 61 yards and an INT.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Bengals going to take over late in this first half. And with the score,
Phillies leading Washington 14-7.
To try and get something out of this drive. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Boyd.
I think that should have been rough in the passer, but I'm not really into
They
that.
stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll work this back to right around
We're calling
the line of
timeout.
scrimmage and surrender
Cincinnati.
there. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Flushed out right. And he's corralled at the 4.
Timeout or hurry up. Oh, hurry up offense and timeout.
Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. 32, now Burrow. It's caught over the middle.
I'm not giving up a touchdown. Not
They have
happening.
themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 44-yard
Oh,
line.
that's getting called a timeout.
Pickup, but it will come on what
They
should
got
be
that off.
the final play in this first half. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. And it's the Browns who are out on top. Nick Chubb with 2 touchdowns thus far. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get to the desert to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And they couldn't get the job done as they fall to the visiting Baltimore Ravens. J.K. Dobbins, a touchdown run in the victory. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats for the Steelers in that first half. And they've had their way running the football well over 100 yards already as a team, with 2 more quarters still to come. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Officially an even 100 yards coast to coast on the kick return. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats, but what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just
now,
said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
Good luck.
he's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
The point after is good, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So let's try this again. After the kick return, TD, here's yet another kickoff. From the 6.
I'm gonna guess he's
The Bengals
tricked.
now as they get their first possession of this second half. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the third quarter. You're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after it.
On first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Burrow, pass. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, they certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts. And there's
Now Burrow loses the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Point after, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fields it right around the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But Brandon, we've been around this game for a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
On third down, Burrow. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. And the defense coming through on third down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 43.
The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. From the gun, they try to run it. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
94 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
About the 26 here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On second down, they'll run it here. Shoves it away. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
You can't be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
He's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. It's their quarterback with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Steelers get another third quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Extra point up and through, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and a 9-yard run on the end of it. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially when they scored.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Burrow. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And this will be down by a member of the kicking team just outside of the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you...
Back now in Cincinnati. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Looking to throw. Story. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. To throw again on 2nd down.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick them off for the 2nd time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly. But they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Story. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete.
Now he's loose again.
And in for the Steelers touchdown. A great effort there. 39 yards.
And the Steelers add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. CD, it'll go into the books as just one win, but this is a really impressive win. They've done it on defense, and here they continue to do it on offense. Another score in the 4th quarter to widen that advantage.
I like where you were going with that one. Would you say, partner, it was really 3 victories today? Landslide on the scoreboard, emphatic victory on either side of the ball. They really got it done.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one lines up to be incomplete. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
And the
Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Oh, my goodness, CD. I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball, but for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he...
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Their mobile quarterback, 28 yards. And the Steelers are well on their way to a 5-0 start as they extend their lead. They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them, because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. Take it in at the 3. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter and a big deficit, Charles, but they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board? So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Bengals on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 10. Now Burrow loses the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered, because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards, and they will take over 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 133 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. Off play action. Story. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Extra point attempt to come here. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From the 10. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Here we go. I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Burrow's throw into the hands of Hooper. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. Burrow will throw. This one hauled in. Again, it's Hooper. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
No problem there on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Takes it at the 7. Now with him, and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And that will write a finish to this ball game. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Pittsburgh, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens.